Hi Virgo, welcome to your March 2024 Astro-Tarot. Can you believe March 2024 Astro-Tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality? It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign, but if you're only going to watch one, make sure it's for your ascendant. It's going to be the most accurate for you on that day-to-day level because these are based on the astrology. And with that said, I use whole sign tropical Western astrology for these readings. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look at what's going on with you. So this month, the first transit that I'm going to look at on the 8th of March, Mars is going to square Mars in the sign of Aquarius, which for you occupies the 6th house. Mars is going to square Uranus, which is in Taurus, which for you occupies the 9th house. So the 6th house is a house that you've got a lot in common with, right? Because it's your natural sort of space in the chart, if you like. It's the place of details of life, the precision of what needs to be done and the daily grind. The 6th house is where Mars, lucky you, is exalted because Mars gains a lot of dignity here because he exalts in the 6th house and does good work, which enables you to push ahead with your plans, right? But in Aquarius, it's often kind of everything all at once. So if you're feeling that kind of scattered feeling, which I mean, I like Mars in Aquarius. It's still a fixed sign, right? So it's got work to do, but it might be that you're trying to do everything all at once. So just watch out for that. What I will say is in terms of your health and in terms of your routines, these might be going through a massive shake-up now, and Mars is giving you a boost of physical energy for your physical self and your physical health and vitality. In a square to Uranus, something that you might have, like that you've considered a well-oiled machine that isn't broke suddenly needs fixing, right? So this might be for the first time in a long time, maybe it's the first time ever. It is about your knowledge base, right? So Uranus in the 9th house is wanting you to take the skills from analog to digital, right? So you've got to up level something here, Virgo. Add to this the Jupiter in a house that it does well in, right, in the 9th house, because it understands this. Your vision of everything is changing and it's expanding rapidly, but neither are done with you yet, right? And the square makes you uncomfortable enough to say, okay, I'm not having this experience again. It's showing you here where there might be a lack of knowledge in some area of your life. Not all areas, just some area of your life, right? And Jupiter for you represents your relationships because it rules Pisces, and it also rules, where are you? Sagittarius, which occupies your 4th house, right? So home, family, property, etc. Now, one of the yes, sorry, I had to really think about that one because I've obviously written it down wrong. And the reason I mentioned Jupiter, even though we're talking about Uranus, is that Jupiter is currently in the sign of Taurus as well, right? So it's amplifying all of this that's going on. Mars is your communications and yeah, like Mars is your communications because Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. It's also your 8th house. So there's communications around your joint finances at the moment, which potentially require a bit more deeper thought. And also for the first time ever, it appears that maybe your ship financially isn't as right or as tight as you usually like it to be. Don't stress, just do the course correct now. Start small, but endeavor to kind of go big with it. Now for this, you've got the Queen of Cups, so it's really going to be more on an emotional level, I think, as opposed to like a practical or a tangible one. You got this with the Page of Wands, which requires your creative and or your inspirational or even imaginal sort of energies to come forward, and you've got this with the Fool card. This could be a new idea, maybe something that you really feel compelled to do on a daily level, maybe a new health regime, maybe a new hobby, maybe even something that you eventually want to do for study, and very quickly you realize, like, holy crap, there's something that I don't know everything about, right? Which is a weird experience for you guys, because you're, you know, anyone that has Virgo energy in a strong sort of position, or a lot of Virgo energy, they tend to be very good at things because they're very well read, very well studied. To suddenly find yourself a little bit of a novice might be like, oh, I don't really know how I feel about that, right? On the 14th of the month, where are you? On the 14th of the month, Jupiter, Uranus, and Luna, the moon, are going to come into a conjunction, all in that ninth house for you. Now, I'm calling this a conjunction because even though the moon and Uranus are 7 degrees away, let's say, from Uranus, it is, you know, this is a lot of energy, right? So I'm kind of taking this, that in the house of higher beliefs and wisdom, the house of travel, foreign cultures, distant lands, you've got the moon in her exaltation, potentially bringing you some wonderful insights into how your spiritual nature can be unearthed to bring you riches, right? In order to bring you more money, more finances, more resources in some way, especially because the moon for you rules your 11th house, which is the gains that you make from your business or your career. And all of this in your ninth house, this could be a connection that teaches you a lot or supports you in some way. Uranus rules the 6th house for you, which is your habits, your routines, and they're also going for a big change, lots of disruptions, but come into your daily experience, and it doesn't allow certain friendships maybe to flow as easily, if at all. So there could be breaking away from some type of you know, some kind of older community in some regard. It could also be spontaneous things happening, and ninth house's beliefs, right? Add Jupiter to the mix of all of this as well. And it's like you've got a party in this ninth house for your home and family, but it's also your relationships. So on a daily level, something's shifting, and as if that wasn't enough, it's like you can see, it's almost like you decide to take on board new ways of doing things, and it not only grows you, but it gets you to see your home and even your personal relationship that much more like just different, right? It's still in the ninth house. It's connected to Saturn in a positive aspect because Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, so there's a nice sextile energy going on there. So there's potentially an opportunity that is around travel or legal matters, or potentially even around publishing. This can really go your way, helping you to amplify your reach, but you just have to know it's going to be hard work because Saturn's in the background of this, right? But that triple conjunction in the ninth, I think is going to wake some stuff up. All right. For this, you have the Three of Swords, so you are going to have to release something or make some kind of personal sacrifice, potentially around work, the Eight of Pentacles, in order to move ahead with it. That Seven of Swords with the Eight of Pentacles might be where you're telling yourself that there's only one way to do this, or there's only one avenue to get to the, you know, to where it is that you'd really like to be. All right, and then on the 17th of the month, the Sun, where are you, is going to come into a conjunction with Neptune in Pisces. This is all in your 7th house of partnership, relationship. A transcendent experience is what awaits you and your lover if you have one. The Sun rules your 12th house, past privacy, all of that kind of stuff. In the house of the intangible, the spiritual. Neptune rules your 7th of relationships. And this combination, it can be one of illusion, but it can also be something shining from within that is like your love for your sexual connection, right? So if you're single, this could be, it could be a chance encounter with somebody that you're like, you know, that wasn't just a hookup, that was like some soul sex, right? If it's tantric, it's sexual, it's sensual, it's the energy between you and a partner is palpable in some way. And it could be where you see a partner for all they are and in and through the eyes of love, right? It could be a healing or a blessing balm that brings you and a partner back together if you've had problems or issues. there's a need for souls to connect here, not just minds, not just bodies, but like all three of those aspects of self coming together with all three aspects of another person. Since the sun is attention and authority figures, it could be a partnership of a professional nature, which is absolutely possible, that shows you what's been missing or what you needed in order for things to run smoothly. If you're single, this could be amazing, but it could also be some kind of obsessive sort of infatuation, so watch out for that. But it might be that there's someone that, and it's also possible with Neptune being Neptune, maybe you see someone as more brilliant than they are, or maybe you see what you want to see. All right, so just be careful here. You've got the Nine of Wands with this, so this could be a lot of healing around relationships, right? Acknowledging where you've had the bad relationships and what sort of mess they created for you. With the Four of Wands, right? But you're seeing this through to the other side, and you've got this with the Lovers card. I really like this, I have to say. Even with the Nine of Wands here, I think this could be either some kind of reconciliation, some kind of really powerful sexual connection, or maybe even a moment where it's like, okay, you know what? Actually, I think this person might be for me. And then finally, on the 21st of the month, Venus is going to come into a conjunction with Saturn. All right, so Saturn is going to come into a conjunction with Venus in your seventh house of partnerships, relationships, significant other. Relationship sector is being highlighted massively, right? But Venus for you rules your second house of money and resources, and also your ninth house of foreign affairs and legal matters. You could be booking a longer distance trip or a long-term trip at this point. Definitely possible. Maybe it's giving you something to look forward to, right? There's that Saturn, that delayed gratification. It might also be that you're getting a flavour for enhancing or expanding your relationship in some way. It also takes a deeper significance, right? So if you're single, Venus is exalted here, right? And she could help you find a foreign stranger, maybe, that is open to your charms, and vice versa. There's usually an age gap with Saturn though, right? So give or take 5 or plus years, whether this is for you, whether this is for them. Go get it. I love a little bit of seasoning, and for me, like salt and pepper is always good. As Venus is exalted here in your relationship sector, whatever does come out of this, because Venus is exalted in Pisces, whatever does come out of this, it offers contracts, connections, opportunities that are blessed and highly flavored. We love it. What I like most is that the promise, right? And that's what it is, because remember, it is Saturn. The promise that's here is worth accepting. Saturn brings grounding and crystallization. Venus brings sweetness. So there are contracts, any contracts that are closed at this time could bode very well for you, especially because Saturn rules that 5th and 6th house for you, meaning that relationships or flirtation could become more and could assimilate into your life that much more easily, right? And be there for the long haul. For this, you've got the Moon card, so just watch out if you're reconnecting with people from the past. You've got the Justice card, so that is the contract or the commitment. And then you've got the Ace of Cups, right? This is a contract or a commitment that truly makes your heart sing. And with the Moon there, your instincts might be going 10 to the dozen, right? So this is a time where if you feel fear around this, maybe this is a time where you have to work through that fear, as opposed to say, oh, this is a sign that I shouldn't go ahead with it. Okay, now, for your lunations on the... I can't remember the date. I'm really sorry. I can't for some reason. I remember the eclipse one because that is my mum's birthday. So the new moon in the sign of Pisces, that's the sun and the moon in the sign of Pisces, is for you, this is in your 7th house. So a fresh start in relationships, partnerships, collaborations, connections, and these would be personal, professional, or platonic. This is a fresh start, a do-over in all of these ways, in some way, shape, or form. So your relationship sector is definitely getting a breath of fresh air or a new start. For this, you've got the gate 10 and empower. So this could be finding empowerment through your relationship, or maybe even somebody comes to you, like if you're partnered, someone says like, wow, you know, when I find my person, I really hope it looks like your relationship, and vice versa. There's also an element to this as well. Like if you're single, this new moon could set some events into motion, or as a result of the new moon, or around the time of the new moon, you could be meeting someone or connecting with somebody at this time. Just obviously be be diligent, all right? And then finally, the full moon lunar eclipse on the 25th, Sun in Aries, Moon in Libra, will be happening in your second house of money, finances, resources. This is a fresh start to your, it's a big culmination to your finance sector in some regard, because your second house tends to represent sort of your money, how you make your money, where you store it, your possessions. All of that is second house, as well as your personal self-esteem, your self-worth, how you value you. And if you've been with me long enough, you will have heard me say how you value and see yourself in your esteem really determines how much money you can make. For this, you've got the gate 34 and power. I think this full moon lunar eclipse is going to help you discover something about yourself that really is very unique, and it's going to help you utilize that in order to make more money going forward. It's like showing you or highlighting to you what only you can do. If you want to get the Court Cards course, you can get that on the link in the description box below. This is easy, digestible information. It's videos, it's PDFs, it's content, it's all kinds of awesome stuff, just focused on the Court Cards of Tarot. So if you've ever had a reading, or you've done a reading and it all kind of fell apart around the Court Cards because you were like, oh, I don't really get this, and how does this show up, and all the rest of it, trust me, this course is for you. You're going to look at archetypes, you're going to look at celebrities, you're going to look at all manner of things, including the astrology of the Court Cards. So if you want to get to a really deep dive that's easy, fun and engageable to digest more knowledge on, this course is for you. You can get that on the link in the description box below. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a great month. Take care, and I'll see you soon.